Hello, humanity, humans, beautiful humans. How are you? And this beautiful hologram of technology that I love so much. All of you people who make a massive impact in my life and create it. So when you pop on, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from on planet Earth. And super excited for this because today I'm talking about, first let me back up. My name is Colleen Gallagher. I'm a global educator. I travel all over the world. I empower people to live with money freedom so they can impact the global economy by simply being them. And today I'm in Arizona. Hey, Emily. So it's super great to be here. And today, I want to talk about masculinity because I'm not sure if you're connected to me. Hey, Scott, how are you? I want to talk about masculinity today, and especially masculinity in women. Hey, Shani. Because I feel like there's a lot going on right now about men and women. And about like men being bad and like, oh my God, women, we need to fight and like, let's do this. Hey, Ebony. And oh my gosh, Sarah, so many amazing people coming on this line. And I wanted to talk about this and what being like a masculine, yes, lunch, Scott Kelly, definitely. I live in Tempe. Well, I'm here right now. I travel a lot though. But anyway, back to this, masculinity. So I wanted to talk about, I've predominantly been a very, very masculine woman in my life. And that is not a bad thing, but I did think it was a bad thing. And I want to touch on this. I really, really want to touch on this because the majority of the women, hey Frank, that I have been connected with, or I'm connecting with, I've been like achievers and let's go and let's do it. Oh my gosh, Indonesia, I love it. And actually just not even women or men, like people have just been like in my field of like, let's go, let's do the success, we've got it, we're gonna make all the money and make the impact. And like, usually if you're connected to me, you've been in the frequency of making money before. Like you've been able to create a lot of it in your life. Maybe you haven't, but you've had a lot. Carnell! Oh my God, there's amazing men that are jumping on this and I'm so excited. Okay, so as masculinity and as a woman being in my masculine energy of like, let's fight, let's do this, let's go all the things. I was taught it was really bad. Like I was taught like, don't be competitive, like don't, go after money, like, don't care too much. Like you need to sit down and quiet down and not have your opinion and like, just stay over there and a guy will come protect you. A guy will come take care of you. And I've had that, a lot of my life. And so I wanted to share here what like the shift was because I've recently been talking with a lot of men and I recently have had a lot of amazing men that are in my field and a lot of them are on this line right now, which is super exciting on the live. And masculinity isn't bad. Like I feel like we're living in a society where people are like, men is bad and like being super masculine is bad. And, I spent predominantly all of 2018 trying to suppress my masculine, trying to be like, ooh, it's too much. I'm too competitive. I'm too directive. I'm too assertive. Like, I'm too this, like all of these stories in my mind that I was creating. And I wanted to come on here today because I just had like amazing calls with some clients. I had amazing calls with some friends. And what I wanted to drop into is like, it's not about suppressing the masculine. It's not about saying like masculinity is bad. It's actually about, if you're on here, releasing your feminine to meet your masculine energy. So it's like a really beautiful balance between like flow and assertiveness, like collaboration and directness. And I just had a call, a really, really beautiful call with a man recently. And we were really talking about how we could work together, how we could play together, because we both are here to impact humanity and we're very serious about that. And we were like, how is this? And we were having a conversation and he was explaining and I'd be like, okay, do you have anything more to say? I would say, I'm just curious, like, is there more that you want to explore here? And I would give this man an opportunity to be fully seen and fully expressed with his ideas. And what he would do in return is when it would come back, like when we were in this vortex of creating conversations, he would come back and this man would say to me, okay, here's all the things I've talked. Now you tell me what to do. And see, we're living in a world where this is not men versus women. This is not that men are bad. You know, I'm surrounded by amazing business men, non-business men, like whatever, amazing men, let's say. And like, they're all so supportive. And so it's coming back to this place of like, masculinity is not bad. And masculinity does not mean that like it's the end of the world. And I really want to get that on here for my women, for my ladies that I'm connected to, because I feel like we've been suppressed in our masculinity and we've been told that we cannot be competitive, we cannot do this. And I really want to share, like, I've been so masculine my whole life and I like thought I had to suppress it. But it's not about suppressing that. It's really, really not. It's about like letting the flow, letting the love, letting the trust of self come through to meet the masculine that we carry. Because so many women that I work with, we're very in the masculine, like we're doing and all of these things. Flora, I love you. I'm so happy you joined this live. Colleen, you're awesome. You're wonderful. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just making sure I have all of these. But anyway, when you are on, let me know if this is making sense. I just have a little notebook because there's some notes I really wanted to share here. And the biggest one was, it's just masculinity in women. Like, let's stop suppressing it. Like, I feel like, you know, I had a very impactful sales day the other day, and I was just like, yo, like, I love this masculine energy I carry. Like, let's get shit done. Let's do this. Like, and I'm like very like competitive with myself, not with others. I'm like, let's be better. Like, how better can I be? And like, I'll kind of like throw myself too much, but then like, I've now really balanced into this place of like, receive. Like, I've done all of the acting. I've done all of the things to succeed. And then like coming back to the moment of allowing the world to come, allowing the world, allowing the money, allowing the relationships, allowing the travel, allowing the magic to flow into me instead of like doing every second of every day. And that is what's beautiful about Facebook. And we're going to bring the Facebook, Instagram, hologram, technology hologram in here. Yes. So, so excited. Okay. So the thing about this place is now that we're existing in technology, so we have this hologram, which is what you're seeing me through right now. And you have it in Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of these different things that you can create. And you actually, I mean, I've created hundreds of thousands of dollars from this phone, literally. And you can now use this hologram right here as a state that's allowing people to see you on their terms. So you don't even have to do all the things anymore. You can femininely show people, take people to the Facebook, to the Instagram, to the whatever that you are doing, to your mission, to your planetary purpose that you're here to do. You can direct them in a masculine to have all of the things there that already exist. So it's just flowing very naturally, very, very naturally in this place. Shawnee, I love you. And have this going on. And I feel like that's really important. Now, another thing that I really want to share, you know, this is a question I get quite often, is, you know, people are like, Colleen, how do I find a girl like you? Or guys will be like, how do I find this? And I'm like, oh my God, this is like stressing me out. Like, you know, they're existing everywhere. Like, even when, you know, a lot of girlfriends will meet me, like friends, and they'll be like, where do girls exist like you? And I'm like, girls that like me exist everywhere. And I'll go into this, but I really want to go back into this place of like masculinity in women, like, you know, very driven, very direct woman. Like, you know, me and my friends, it's interesting. A lot of men will be around me and my girlfriend sometimes, and they'll be like, wow, you guys are so direct with each other. Hey, Jordan, you and your girlfriends are so direct with each other. Like, men will be like, yo, I've never seen women interact the way that you do with your friends. And I'm like, why? I'm like, we are communicating as two women exactly what we desire in a conversation. Like, why is that weird? Or why as a woman can I not be direct to another woman, like as a friend? And I feel like it's really important as women, we own that we can communicate directly to each other instead of being like, oh, she'll intuitively pick this up. Like, she's my friend, she should know. She should know this. Like, owning that we can directly talk to our girlfriends, saying what we desire as a friend, instead of like having this like, oh, well, just because she's my girlfriend, she's supposed to know. Like, she's just supposed to know. Like, that's not very, like own the masculine part of us, like the voice that we have within us that allows us to express like what we desire, whether it's friendship, it's business, it's money, whatever, like allowing that to come, but playing back into feminine flow of what that means. But we don't need to hide our directness. We don't need to hide our too muchness. We don't need to hide our drive. Like, that doesn't need to be hidden. Like, the men that I'm around personally, like the men that surround my tribe, like that are in my community that I'm like very close with, are always like, yo, Colleen, I'll let them be seen or heard if it's a business or it's whatever. I'm like, yo, I'm curious. Like, what are you feeling? And I'm always going to feeling with men. Even if it's a businessman and they're not even listening, I'm like, yo, what are you feeling? But these men then when it's my time to talk, when I'm ready, these men will be like, yo, Colleen, you tell us what to do now. You tell us. And these men are like supportive of me standing in my directiveness. But it's us as women being okay with that. And men are actually very supportive when women choose to do that. And so it's not like a man versus woman thing. I feel like this is like whole thing of like men and women. Like, it's like just owning these two energies that we play with. That's really, really important, I feel, in this field that we're choosing to exist in. And so I just really want to get that out there, because that was also like some major business decisions I've had, and like some of my major male clients that I've had recently really step into, you know, they've been like, yo, you tell me. And it's like they are desiring that masculine almost to meet them somewhere. And so it's not like, well, I need to be told what to do. Like, let's as women own that. It's okay to be masculine sometimes and be like, yes, and then be like, whew, I'm ready to sit back and receive. Like, it's okay. And it's okay to express and communicate directly, even if we don't even know what the clarity of what we desire, if we just can explain what we're processing. So I know a lot of times, you know, I've been with, I mean, I'm friends with a lot of guys, and, you know, I've been in a place where they're my business partner, or they're a business client, and there's like something going on, and there'll be times like I'm not even sure what I desire. Like, you know, I had a friend lately, he was sharing something with me, and I was like, you know, I'm not really sure here. Like, I'm just processing what I'm feeling. And I was relaying that process to him. Even though I didn't have the clarity, he could witness the process, so I could stand more into that masculinity. And that was like a very like, okay, let me masculine and like receive what you're processing. And like going into that place between the two, because I've done so much work to try to suppress my masculine. It's not about suppressing the masculine. Like, go and own the masculine. Go as a woman and like feel empowered. Feel like yes with money. Feel like collaboration with money. Feel like all of it. Like friendships with money. I don't know, like friendships. Like, you want to have coffee with someone, like be like, yo, you know, it's okay that I'm a woman, but I want to be direct and state my desire. Like, I'm going to be direct in that. I don't need to be like, oh my God, I have to wait for someone to text me because I'm the girl and like I'm in feminine flow and all the things. Like, that's good. But like also coming back to your own power and like standing into that. Let me know if this is making sense. I know we have a lot of people on the line. I'm super happy with that. But this live was inspired by quite a few things that happened in my life. But I'm just like, I'm fully owning that I can be very masculine and I'm okay with it. And that I'm just unleashing my feminine energy to match my masculinity. Like, that is the thought process I'm having. That is the belief I'm having. And I'm okay with it. And a lot of the men that I know that I'm really good friends with are okay with it too. I'm like, yo, I'm really in my masculine. They're like, yo, cool. Thanks for letting me know. And letting that flow. So I feel like that's just really something I really desire to express. The other thing I really wanted to explain here, I get a lot of questions that people say, Colleen, how do I create success? And they really want to know. And it's not like, I shouldn't say it like that. People are like, you know, Colleen, how do I create success? And I always say there's so many ways to create success. Like, which focus, which pinpoint do you desire? And, you know, the success that I've created in my life has not been from just masculine. It was when I was in corporate America. I was doing and struggling, and I've talked about that a lot, of like doing. And I was like going, and like, let's be a superhero. Which worked for a little bit, which was great. But my own business, my own success really started when I started to mesh these two together, and I started to own that it was okay to be masculine and also okay to be feminine, instead of just having to be one to tailor a result. So I feel like that's really just something I wanted to share. And with success, I'm processing, with success as well, if you just do all of the things, like you like, these are the 3 steps, like this is the business, this is like the amount of money, the website, like those are all like kind of task lists, where I talk about a lot, if you go inwards as a woman and like listen, trusting yourself, like trusting that you know what you're doing, like trusting, like even if you're in a room full of men, or you're surrounded by maybe even predominantly women, and like a lot of people are in flow and they're like, let's collaborate, like you stepping into the leader and the power to like be the direction. Like I feel like that's just okay, and owning that is okay. And I feel like it's really important. So I wanted to talk about that. I'm just looking at my notes. And with success, there is not going to be one way to create success. Like, oh my God, there's so many business models I look at. There's so many businesses I'm helping from all over. Like, there's just not one way to create success. So like, if you're still in your mind of like, here's how to become a lawyer, here's how to do the master's, here's how to do the PhD, which I'm doing those things. Like, those are things that I'm doing. But like, as far as my business or as far as my clients' results, I cannot tell you just one strategy of like, do this. Like, the number one thing I can tell you is like, invest in yourself and invest in getting a new environment. That's for sure. But like, yeah, that's like the number one. Other than that, like, I feel like there's just not really, yeah. Also, masculinity with money. I feel like I talked a lot masculinity and women. And so the circle that to close out with women, masculinity and women, be okay to be direct, be okay to stand in your masculine power, be okay to state like what you desire, like what you want, like be okay as a woman to like be okay as a woman to feel competitive with yourself, feel just okay in that, like feel empowered in that, like don't feel like you need to like numb that down to like fit into society, because like I tried it and it just doesn't really feel good, and now I'm like, let me like release the other parts that exist within me, like to meet that intense energy that I flow with, that's created a lot of results in my life, or outcomes, I should say. And the other thing with money and masculinity with money. Okay, you can create a lot of money with masculinity, and it's perfect. But, you know, I was just on a podcast lately with Ian in Evolved Life. Shout out to Ian. And we were talking a lot about women and men. And he actually, when we were on the podcast, actually invited me to step more into my power in an area that I was like dimming down. And in the podcast, it hasn't been released yet, but on the podcast, basically, I share how important that was, that men invite women to step more into that like dominance, or that like assertive kind of power, like owning our worth. And it was a really cool on the podcast because we really shared it, and we really broke it down so other people could see like how this really works. It's not like a man female thing, it's like two energies. Like he was really stepping into feminine for me to step more into masculine and like be in awareness. But like, I just feel like with money, even like it's never like just masculinity. Like it's never just like masculine, do all the things to make money. Like you can do that, but that's not really healthy masculinity. Like healthy masculinity doesn't really like suffer. It doesn't really like put, like, I don't know. I just don't feel like that's really like true. I just feel like we've kind of been sold an illusion of that. So I wanted to do that. The other thing I wanted to say, with masculinity and men, there's a couple things that will happen. Like I feel like I've covered a lot of stories that I wanted to with men and masculinity and them being super empowering of women to stand in masculinity. But there is one thing I wanted to share. One thing that's really not good, and I wanted to share this, is like a real opportunity. If ever you're in a conversation with a friend, with a friend, a partner, like, I don't know, different people, you're never gonna wanna say like, you didn't understand what I said. Like placing the blame on someone else. Like, you don't understand. Like, you don't do this. Like, that is never gonna go very well. I don't even know if that really has to do with masculinity, but I wanted to share it because it came up. And I feel like men get blamed a lot for saying that, or women will be saying it, or I hear this a lot, like people are like, oh, well, they said this or they said that, da, da, da. And it's like, owning, if you don't like or you don't desire how someone spoke to you, you fully standing in your power, back to this, being direct with someone, saying what you would desire to be communicated, like saying like, that didn't feel good, that communication, I didn't desire, that communication didn't allow me to experience a good feeling. You know, can we move through this? Is there something we can discuss? Like, I feel like it's really important to not go into, especially the genders, like, well, they just don't understand. Like, men just don't understand, or women don't understand. Like, that's so disempowering, instead of you fully standing in your sovereignty and being like, yo, I am feeling this and I'm understanding this right now. And I feel like it's really important with this, the directness, like, and it's, feminine can be direct as well. Like the goddess is very direct as well, and like very like standed and grounded in power of this. But I feel like it gets confused as well with bad masculinity. And I just really wanted to come on and share that, because I just feel like there's been so many powerful men that have been in my life lately that have really like taken the, like, just really done a lot of amazing things. And I wanted to come on and like personally talk about it as a woman, what masculinity has meant to me. I've been ashamed of it, or been fearful of it, and I've really like transmuted it to be more empowering and owning it fully. So that's like something I just really desired to share. And I feel like it's really important as women, as I'm connected to a lot of women that are, you know, very empowered and very empowered women, but like owning we can be both. Like we can sit back and receive. Like we can just take a moment to breathe. We can stop doing all of the things and state like a desire to someone else so we can be received. Like it can come back. Like I feel like that's just the most important thing that I wanted to share in all of this, in acknowledging it. Let me see. So if there is any questions, let me know. I'm just reading this. Yeah, I just feel like that was a lot of what I wanted to share. I don't feel like masculinity is bad. I feel like masculinity is really important for women to own. I feel that masculinity isn't bad for men to own either. I feel that a lot of my clients that step into this start to learn this, and the art of communication and the art of dancing with communication and dancing with directiveness and receiving and giving, and like this whole little dance that gets to like occur that's like so beautifully, like so beautiful when it's done correctly. And yeah, I just really wanted to share that. And also, like, this is probably for another life, but like masculinity can also get very confused with like the goddess of like being in her sovereignty and very like grounded in that. Like I feel like there's a confusion as well, but I feel like that's for another life. But I just feel like it's really important. I just feel like that's really what I wanted to share. Own your masculinity in women, own it in money. Men can own it, like it's good, I feel like, and everyone can just like be okay with that, instead of being like men are this or women are that. And owning this energy we have that exists within us is really, really just empowering. Like there's nothing better than empowering yourself to say what you feel, what you desire, what you can do in your life to control your life, and you can do to create your life. Like that's like the most empowering thing you could do. So just really desiring to do that. I'm trying to feel if there's anything else that's like coming through to share. Okay, yeah, I work on this with a lot of my clients as well. So many of my clients are very in the masculine energy, and they've been in the masculine their whole life, and they are unsure how to receive, and they are very nervous about receiving. So if you're someone who definitely probably your whole life, you've achieved a lot. Not even that, I don't even want to go there. Actually, if you're someone that is like, you know, I want to receive more for life. I want to receive more. Like I'm ready to sit back and like watch the fruit of my life's work impact humanity. Like I'm ready to sit back in the glory of my life that I've already created, who I be and who I am in my presence. I'm ready to let my essence and my aura speak for itself to impact. I'm ready to receive for me being me, for me already doing what I do. Like, I'm ready to receive for that, because you've predominantly acted this way your whole life, and you're ready to shift it, and ready to really shift it rapidly at a quantum rate to create money freedom for yourself and to influence the global economy. Yeah, that's what I do in Global Citizen University. I feel like I'm like with that, but this was a really important live for me because there's been a lot of shout out to so many people recently in my life, and shout out to the women as well, like just everyone that's been like going at it, and like, let's just own that's okay. Like, it's not bad to be acting in that way, and just finding a dance between the two that feels so good for you, that's like a yes, that's like a hell yes, and committing to that flow of masculinity and femininity, and like not being afraid to be masculine. I feel like that's just so crucial, because I was so, like I said, afraid for so long to be too masculine, and now I've like realized it's just beautiful. And so yeah, I just feel like I really wanted to touch on that. If you watch this, you have questions, let me know. Global Citizen University, we launched last week. Oh my God, it's amazing. We're going over right now freedom lifestyle, and all about how to live and create the freedom lifestyle using technology. We have amazing change agents and global economists in there. People have already made money after being in there for the first week. They've made anywhere from a couple hundred to a couple thousand. So yeah, I'll talk about that in a week. I feel like it's really beautiful. If you're here to influence humanity, and you're here to do it from a really centered, grounded place that's a ton of fun, you're usually the smartest person in the room. You're magical. You feel just like, sometimes you're up here, but sometimes you're grounded. Like, I don't know. You just feel kind of like you're everything almost to everyone all the time, but you're really ready to like be everything for yourself. Like, I really invite you to be in this container. I really invite you to come play. I really invite you to be in this world of craziness that I exist in this world of impactfulness, in this world of love. You know, I just really invite you to do that, and the world's waiting for you. Humanity's waiting for you. Like, your message, your vision, your commitment. It's not even about you. It's about you showing up for humanity, because there's so many people that can use your gifts, and there's so many people that are already willing to pay for your gifts in a way, and allowing yourself, if you've been the achiever, if you've been the person that's done it all and like you're doing all the things, to like learn how to sit back and receive from that, and like play a really good dance with both of them. So definitely message me, reach out, and sending you amazing vibrations.